stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
The dust settles, and all that was standing was Ed Shiminkovich. Someone speak.
And Mike.
And Carl Watkins.
Ooh.
Good job. Welcome back.
We're on top of stuff.
It's Friday. Yeah, well.
It's getting late. It's just getting a little late.
It's late. I mean, it's so early in the morning on a Friday.
That's right.
Oh, I just had it. Something funny just popped into mind. You know that song that's totally overused by television, Baba O'Reilly?
Yeah.
Baba O'Fett. Boba O'Fett.
Okay, we'll write it. We're bound to do another musical sketch show eventually. I'm sure that's gonna happen. Yeah, we're the right people for the job.
Yeah,
so.
I think we are.
Yeah, that's still out there. It's not uploaded to VOR Classics as of yet, but all our archives are on iTunes. VOR Classics are on YouTube, and all those links are at vorradio.com.
Affirmative.
Mm-hmm.
Affirmative. You know what else is on vorradio.com?
What's that?
Our feedback information, a.k.a. RepubliComm.
Oh, yeah, that too.
The RepubliComm! Let's hit it.
We've got a couple of bits of feedback from you, our lovely and talented, amazing Voron listeners. And disclaimer, we never check the RepubliComm voicemail, so anything can happen. We're going to let it roll.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling this is Jim Goff.
Hey guys, it's Jim Goff again.
Hey.
I don't know if you're sick of hearing from me or not, but I've got to weigh in on this topic for sure. I can't ever talk about 80s movies without at least going on for like an hour or so, just gushing about John Carpenter. Now, you guys made the joke to not say Big Trouble in Little China, so I won't. There's a couple of John Carpenter movies that I always feel like are overlooked.
He's going to say Starman.
Now, I wish I could say the original Assault on Precinct 13, but unfortunately that came out in '76. So instead, I bug my friends about this movie all the time. I go, you like John Carpenter? Oh, yeah, I love The Thing, and I love, to a lesser extent, they'll say Big Trouble in Little China. But they never, ever say They Live. And I'm just going to say, I fucking love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that movie to me is just the 80s, just a perfect encapsulation of the kind of things John Carpenter would do that nobody else was doing back then. So, yeah, They Live. They Live is amazing. It's kind of funny, like, I'm actually seeing people make references in other things, like, just recently. Like, I know there was a couple of video games where Keith David and Roddy Piper were voices, so then they would deliberately pair them up. And then just recently in an episode of Adventure Time, they had two characters voiced by them, and they literally had a fist fight that went on forever. They're just the two characters punching each other, just like the awesome, amazing fist fight between the two with Roddy Piper trying to get the glasses on Keith David or whatever. See, and I can keep going on. I would go on forever about They Live, so that's my pick. Thanks, guys.
Good choice. Good choice.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't pick that because he mentioned it on the Voice of Republic group. So I was like, if Jim calls in, he's probably going to say that one. So I'm going to go with Starman because that would have been probably my pick because that is one of my favorite Carpenter movies. So.
And isn't it funny how World Wrestling, or at least WWF to me being one of the primaries, the red, yellow, blue of wrestling, that still holds up today. Like with even in China, Illinois, very specifically, the dean is 100% Hulk Hogan, and that's the draw.
Yeah.
Totally.
He needs to be him.
And I agree, because I've been watching a lot of pro wrestling recently, like classic old pro wrestling, and that stuff it holds up on a very fundamental level. It's basic stories, charismatic people, and good action. So
Good versus evil.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much a John Carpenter movie. I mean, like that's a good storytelling. That's the paramount.
Yeah, it's really interesting characters thrown in a fairly simple situation, and then just kind of letting them be themselves in that situation. That pretty much is how John Carpenter works.
I really ought to check out John Carpenter movies at some point.
Yeah.
They're great. I mean, like, and he mentioned The Thing, which is Kurt Russell, great. Escape from New York, Kurt Russell again, great. Escape from L.A., I enjoyed it, but I can understand why people didn't like it.
It's basically the 90s blown out, hey, we're Hollywood, we can still laugh at ourselves, babe. Just, we get it, we get the joke. But it's the exact same storyline as Escape from New York.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
So it was great movies, and the game he was talking about with Keith David and Roddy Piper is Saints Row 4, and you have to check it out because it is like you recruit Roddy Piper to go and get Keith David, and it turns into this whole ordeal, and it's just brilliant.
That's a standout part of that movie to me, because in terms of movie making, it's a terrible idea. But like Kevin Smith's, Kevin Smith said, if you drag a joke on like a little too long, it's not funny. But if you drag it on a little bit longer, it goes back to funny, all right.
Yeah, it does.
That scene is definitely like, oh my God, they're still fighting in an alley, and all he wants to do is put glasses on a dude. Seriously? Why are we still going? But it just keeps going, and then the wrestling moves, and then a dumpster, and then a box of eggs and sawdust, and it just doesn't stop. And it's a riot.
And there's that one point where I think he ends up swinging a 2x4 at him, and it clearly would have killed him if he and they both just kind of stop for a second. They're just like, whoa, what the fuck are we doing? And then they just go right back into it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, They Live is an amazing, much like we were talking about RepubliComm last week as a commentary on, again, society, media, etc. They Live is direct response to media and corporate control, and it's highly recommend. It looks ridiculous, but highly, highly, highly recommend. It's less sci-fi than it is social commentary.
Yes.
That's cool.
You know this, man. All right. Caldos from Columbus, Ohio.
What?
That's near me then.
Yeah, my name is Darth.
I'm going to back it up.
Yeah, my name is Jared. Darth Diarrhea from
No! Jared!
Okay, 80s movies? Man, I could go deep dicking on that. Okay, here comes. Weird Science, Tremors, Goonies.
Tremors.
1, 2, Big Trouble in Little China, Goonies. Gremlins 1, 2, Fast Times, Spaceballs, Anything Candy, Murray, Stallone, Schwarzenegger, E.T., Lost Boys, Evil Dead, Dark Crystal, Shining, Conan 1, 2, any of the Star Treks 2, 3, 4, 5, even that piece of shit 5, Road Warrior. Beyond Thunderdome, Die Hard, Indy 1, 2, 3. I got more.
Oh, I guess he hung up. He was exhausted.
Gave up.
He's just like, this is gonna be too long. Click. That's great, because that is a wonderful list. But I will say one thing, because I debated on Tremors, 1990.
Yeah.
He was so close, but just a little too. But here's the funny thing: it stars Fred Ward, who plays Remo Williams. Go out and watch that shit, motherfuckers!
That's awesome, dude. I don't think he mentioned any of the Muppet movies.
Ooh.
Oh,
No, but neither did we, to be fair.
that's true. Oh man,
Uh,
awesome! Great to hear from you, Jared.
yeah.
Yeah.
Outstanding. That's a
I didn't know
VR.
Jared was from Ohio. He's just down the road from me.
Maybe he's
Dude,
got a burner.
Well, not anymore. He's like 2.5 hours from me now, but he used to be just like an hour away.
I've got to say this because I want to say this. That's it. But after the past couple of weeks, anybody, any of our old VORians would know what I mean. I think that hearing from Jared was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
kind
don't
of
think
like,
I've actually heard his voice though, which is cool.
Yeah.
it's kind of like when Jamie Baca kind of popped back up on the scene. That really, like, because I mean, I still kind of like hung out with him like a little bit on Facebook and still talk to him, but you know, like whenever you hear back from those guys, and it's nice to know that people are still okay. So, thanks,
Yeah.
Jared.
I'm going to be drawing the cover of Jamie Baca's new record that's coming out in July.
Awesome.
Oh, brilliant! Man. That's great.
But
So we have to pimp some music on this. I think we could actually pimp this music.
Yep, his band is called the Power Goats, and
Mhm.
they're out of Canada. So check them out.
I know. How cool is that?
Right. They may be British. They may be a British colony, but their music community is strong.
and it's only like 5 to 10 years behind America's.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dude,
If you love Ace of Base, you will love Power Goats.
If you like Ace of Base, I think I posted that on. I think I posted one of those today on eBay.
Oh, it's great.
Oh my God!
Jamie.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jamie.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, it's cool to hear from long-time listeners, but it's also cool to hear from new listeners.
Yeah.
Matt is one of our new guys. He just
Hey.
showed up on the forum. So
Hi,
he sent us
Matt.
What's up, future old school?
Matt comes from the future, and so he sent us an email. He said, "Hey, it's Matt from Cross the Streams, the Ghostbusters podcast.
Ooh.
Love Voice of the Republic. You guys nailed the RoboCop 2014 review. I rewatched it again from a copy that fell off the back of a truck."
Ah.
And it left me completely expressionless the whole way through. The nods to the original felt too forced, and though it did try to distance itself by making the topics current, this film merely exists, nothing more. See you in the DVD bargain bin. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Number one on my list is Ghostbusters, obvious bias choice. Yeah. But the other 80s movies that I've picked will transcend multiple generations as timeless classics in no particular order. Blade Runner,
Mhm.
Empire Strikes Back, Back to the Future, The Blues Brothers, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Beetlejuice, The Breakfast Club, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Thanks, and keep up the great work, Matt.
Awesome list. And, speaking of Ghostbusters, we just, today, like, we're recording this, Harold Ramey's just passed away at the age of 69.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's such a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah, it is.
Not AIDS, but it wasn't an autoimmune.
Yeah, it was a vascular disease. It was, like, it's terrible. Like, because I was reading it, and I think they kept it kind of quiet, but apparently, like, it really flared up a few years ago, and it was to a point that at one point he had to relearn how to walk and everything. Super
Oh,
sad.
really?
Yeah. But that's terrible because his sensibility, like him and Dan Aykroyd and those guys, like Caddyshack, Stripes, Ghostbusters, like those had such a big impact on my personal sense of humor growing up. It's like I was that kid that was like 5, 6 years old watching Caddyshack, and I totally shouldn't have been. But it's like I grew up on that shit, and I'm glad to check out the Cross the Streams podcast because I love Ghostbusters, and
Awesome.
like I said on the Facebook group, like I could teach an entire college course on why Ghostbusters is possibly the best written comedy of all time. So
Yeah, it's
great
fantastic.
movie. So
Wow. Well, it's really great to hear from Matt. And everybody check out Cross the Streams podcast.
yeah,
Cottonmouth. I'm not even smoking pot.
Hopefully it doesn't suck, but I'm going to say it doesn't because Matt seems like he has a good head on his shoulders.
Benefit of the doubt. So
Yeah.
yeah. Excellent, man. Well, that's cool. Thanks for RepubliComms. And you can leave those anytime, day or night, 24 hours a day.
You can.
At 409, 407, 409, 8749. And, you know, you don't have to love us. You can tell us you absolutely think we're totally full of shit and you hate us.
That's fine.
Totally fine. Feel free to also send us a text email or MP3, but, you know, try and keep it concise, to voiceofrep@gmail.com. So we would look forward to hearing from you guys.
Yeah. And stay tuned because this week, Saturday, if it's not too late, or maybe it might be out by now already, we're doing a special Kessel Run. So if you haven't seen it already, stick around. It's coming.
Cool. And then next week, just a reminder, give us a call in the old RepubliComm for Ask the Experts. Ask us any question.
And you'll get an answer.
Goddamn right.
It might not be a good answer, but it'll be an answer.
I'll tell you. I'll just tell you how it is.
That's right. That's right. Thinking caps on.
That's right, bitches.
Cool. So, thanks for joining us, and until next week, may the Force
Be with
That ass.
spitting on my screen. Third time tonight.
Nice.
Good night, babies.